Welcome r/Prorevenge. I rented a fake apartment and accidentally got pro-revenge. So this happened a long time ago. It's probably okay to post here. It was November 2009 and I was jamming to I Got a Feeling by the Black Eyed Peas, looking for a cheap apartment. I find a great ad in Craigslist and arrange for a viewing. I meet the landlady, a portly shrew with a Betty Page haircut. I wasn't here for the company however, but for the cheap room. It's not great looking, but it is cheap, so I tell her I'm interested. She tells me the place is mine if I can get a deposit by end of day. Sweet. I rip to the bank and grab the $450 bucks needed, a half a month's rent. She and I cross-sign a standard lease and ask when I can get a key to move in, and she says a couple days as the current tenant has yet to collect all of their stuff. So, I'm sleeping on the couch at a buddy's pad for now, and so I just chill, seeing sights, enjoying the first few weeks in a new city. A couple days roll by, and I haven't heard from the landlady, so I get frustrated and leave a few salty voicemails, but alas I was ghosted. Finally she leaves me a voicemail and says sorry, but she cannot rent the place to me. I start to get angry, but I'm a pretty cool customer, so I do the research, find out my rights in an unfamiliar new municipality, and discover that if someone backs out of a lease without a legal reason, the other party is entitled to double the deposit they placed. So I figure she owes me about $900 clams. I leave more messages and emails. Again with the ghosting, not answering the phone, no responses via email either. I get fed up. Now, I had just accepted a new job, but it didn't start until the turn of the month. I would guess it's about the third week of November 2009. I have some spare time, so I hop on the bus, buy a magazine, and sit at the bus stop across from the rental house, and just wait and wait. For a couple hours I waited, but man was it worth it. I see her showing the unit to another smart mark. I hold my cool and wait for her to finish with her newest renter and make my way over to the house to confront her. As soon as she sees me, she starts to wail about how the tenant changed their mind, blah blah blah, and that's why she couldn't rent to me. I've heard enough. I square my stance directly opposite this clearly upset charlatan. Now you listen to me. You will get me $900 as required by law by the end of the day, or I will go directly to the police station and let them deal with you. She turned white. For a minute I thought she was going to puke on the ground right there in front of me. She says, "Hold on, I will get you your money." I remember thinking, shit, that was easier than I thought. She goes upstairs. The unit was a basement unit in the house she was living in, and I shit you not, hands me a wad of cash and says, "Here, this is ruining my Christmas, but here." She almost pushed me off balance as she jammed the messy wad of cash into me. "Thank you. Good day," I say and take the money, count it, and walk away. I didn't turn around and look back, got on the first bus that stopped nearby heading back toward the direction of my friend's house. Not until I was home did I calm down and realize it was going to be a sweet Christmas, all thanks to a lying funny cheapskate. However, this is not the end of the revenge. About a week later, I get a phone call from a friend asking me if the lady in the news is the same crazy lady I got the double damage deposit from. I'm like, what? Sure enough, it turns out this lady was running the same scam in parallel with a bunch of other victims. I'm mortified, not just because I almost got scammed, but it immediately occurs to me that the money I got was someone else's money, and they are homeless for the holidays. I head right down to the police station, where there is, I shit you not, a line of crying people filing reports about being scammed by this woman. I feel awful, and when it's my turn, I get to the intake officer and start to give my story. I lay it all down, how I fell for it, how I left a snotty voicemail, how I staked out the rental to confront her, my demand of double the money back, my threats of legal action against her, and finally the skillful execution of the law by getting double the deposit back. I tell the cop I took some of the money that belonged to the other victims, and she looks at me and says, "Man, you were the only one smart enough to confront her in a reasonable way. You earned that money. Don't worry about it." A young lady who was now homeless and desperate couldn't help but overhear, and as I'm leaving the police station, she approaches me and says, "Hey, did you get your money back from that bitch?" To which I sheepishly reply, "Actually I got double my deposit from her," when I threatened her with the police. The girl blinks a couple times and finally grins, starts a slow clap, and announces to the other victim still waiting to give a statement in the lobby of the police station, "This guy took her for double the damage deposit." I cringed. But then, in the most unexpected turn of events, the line of victims began applauding, I suppose with the realization that, while their money was gone, someone had really screwed her back, and that made them happy. They cheered, I felt better, the cops laughed, and we all, there had to be 20 people in all, had a joyful cosmic moment of holiday schadenfreude at her expense. I left the police station with a clean conscience and a smile on my face, and enjoyed every last penny of that worthless bitch's nasty stack. For the non-believers, here are a couple media reports of the woman who tried to scam me, with bonus pictures of her getting hauled away. Edit, spelling, fixed a messed up a date. More edit, thanks for the silver. This bitch just keeps paying off. Even more edit, gold. You guys are so full of the giving spirit of Christmas. Thanks again. Edit the fourth, now with the platinum. Stop you guys. Close bracket. Okay, final edit. Yes, this really happened. I'm not a creative writing student, but thanks for the compliment. Thanks for all the awards. This was really just a fun thing I decided to write on a whim. I was having my annual chuckle about this whole fiasco by googling it around this time each year, and I thought I would share the story. No, I don't hate the lady, I just think she made some bad choices. If she reads this, I'm sorry I called you a kinda. I could see Canadians doing that. Black Friday morning as I was walking into a busy mall, two women were having a sorry war for both trying to walk in at the same time. Canadian standoff. One of the most painfully stereotypical Canadian things, but my god does it happen all the freaking time. I barely leave the house outside of work, but I can think of at least 5 different occasions in the past week where it's happened. I don't know man, the news article specifically states one person got their money back. I believe it, because it would take forever to find your article where it's plausible that you were that one specific person to fuck the scammer over. Then you would have to go through the trouble of making this shit up. I know people are crazy attention seeking whores, but damn, it's way more believable that this truly happened than it is to believe someone made all this shit up. To me at least anyways. You're a great dude, good on you for getting your money back. I explained the chick to ask you for some money honestly. I mean, that was the icing on the cake. The bullshit started spewing long before that. Why did all these people who had been defrauded over the weeks suddenly decide to congregate in the police station lobby on the same day and time? And oh look, Op happened to pick that date and time too. And the cop tells him he earned the other people's money because he was so clever. I don't doubt the scam was real, or that Op was involved and got his deposit back. But the rest is all total bullshit that he thought up in the shower one night after the events cooled down. Think about it a little harder. Why would you wait 4 weeks to approach the cops? Now think even harder. Why would a literal lobby full of individuals all decide individually to wait weeks before reporting their crime? Now wait, I ask you to think even harder. Why did all of these individuals who coincidentally decided to wait weeks before reporting their crimes all suddenly congregate at the top of the hour to report their crimes on the day a news story broke? Also, this news story somehow broke during the middle of the day, no primetime news or anything. All these defrauded people were so incredibly lucky they had no jobs or obligations keeping them from making their magical journey to the police station together. After reading the press links you've added, I think it's almost like she's got away with everything, and she has no respect for the law, or stealing from penniless students. Example was that, even after she was arrested and charged, she still continued to scam even more people. Good on Op for knowing about the laws regarding renting. Just a pity that everyone she scammed can't get, not just double their money back, but the money they forked out to begin the process of moving home. IMHO. The victims should get together and investigate if there is any way to bring a case against her for all the other out-of-pocket expenses they had, with more added for any emotional trauma they may have had. Yeah, I thought the same thing. It'd be very easy to take almost any news story and insert oneself into it. Links to the news article only proves that this woman was arrested for fraud. I just can't with her. They all stood and clapped. Yeah, that's when the story really started to sound fake. This slow clap bullshit. And also, I've never seen people lined up at a police station to complain about the same thing at the same time. I'm quite certain Op read the news clips and wrote a fake story around it.